Hello, and welcome to No Sleep for Dramas. This is a follow-up to my medical examiner Dr. Chin guide. If you don't know anything about this franchise and don't know anything about why we are ranking these dramas in this video, please go back to that video and watch it. I give you a good introduction of what we're talking about, what the Cdrama franchise is about, and then come back to this video and I review all the ones that I've watched in the franchise and rank them for you. If you have already watched that video, please sit down, grab some coffee, and let's get into some of these rankings when it comes to the Medical Examiner Dr. Chin franchise. Disclaimer before we start ranking these, I am only going to be ranking what I watched. As you know from my guide, there's many other dramas and movies in this franchise that have not been accessible in the United States. I only watched the stuff I had access to, so those are the only things I'm ranking and reviewing in this video. You can go back to that guide to get a full list of all of the dramas and movies in this franchise that I could find on the internet. Okay, so we're going to be ranking 8 dramas and movies in this part. The first one is going to be no surprise because it's the one I've talked about the most. It's the classic season 1 of Medical Examiner Dr. Chin. Even though my rating of this drama is going to sound to you a little low, I'm going to put this in S tier because it's a classic. It's kind of one of those dramas where it started it all. This franchise never would have existed without this drama. And so even though I'm going to say I'm going to rate it an 8 out of 10 because it is a 10-year-old drama, I have watched this twice, if not 3 times. It's a solid classic crime drama. It's a little dated. The cases are still interesting though. On rewatch, I forgot how episodic this was. I love the trio. This is probably by far my favorite trio in the franchise. It's not a perfect drama by far, but it's fun. It does not address the big case that is mentioned many times because season 2 and season 3 were made right after this one, and because I did not have access to season 2, I did not get that satisfying conclusion, and so you might not as well. I would not advise eating and watching this at the same time. It's not the most gory, in my opinion, compared to something you might see in 2026, but some people might still not want to watch autopsy stuff while they're eating. So I rate this an 8 out of 10. I'm kind of doing this thing where because it's a classic, because I love this drama, I'm ignoring the minor things that cause me to rate an 8 out of 10 and still put it in S tier, in my opinion. Next one we're going to talk about is Medical Examiner, the Mind Reader. I rated this an 8 out of 10. I'm not going to put it in S tier though. I don't think it's up to season 1's caliber. But I will say this is still a solid entry into the franchise. I love that it was a prequel. It has a different combination of the trio, but I think the trio still works. In this one, you have Lin Tao and King Ming still there, but you have another medical examiner, not his assistant. They kind of are peers. They are at the same level. So I like that. It's not a power dynamic type situation. Not that it was really a power dynamic in season 1, but it definitely is not in the Mind Reader season either. I love the found family in Mind Reader because it's not only the trio, but the female lead's family also becomes a found family with King Ming. This one attempts to do romance in multiple ways, and in my opinion, none of the romances work. But it might work for other people. And then some of the acting seemed a little stiff to me here and there. It's not throughout, but here and there it does. Trigger warning, there is some gory stuff in the Mind Reader season. But I rated that an 8 out of 10. I'll put it on A tier. It's still a solid crime drama. Next one we'll talk about is Medical Examiner Dr. Chin, Silent Evidence. This I rated a 7.5 out of 10. It's an okay drama. It's not bad, but it could have been better. I loved how quirky Dr. Chin was in this. He was very quirky in this one. The comedy did not work for me, though. I did not like that. And then at the beginning of the drama, I disliked the female cop. So in this one, you don't have a Lin Tao. You have a female version of Lin Tao, which still works. I like their working relationship, but then they tried to introduce romance into it, and I did not like that. And I also did not like the female cop at first when she was introduced. She grew on me as the drama continued. I also figured out the main bad guy very early on, so I got a little bored with the main overall case that was going to be the entire problem for the entire drama because I figured that out so early. And because there was no male character that could do the bromance part in this drama, I missed the bromance of it all. Could have been worse, but it's also nothing really special about medical examiner Dr. Chin's silent evidence. I would recommend it maybe to check out a different combination of people working together and things, but it was okay. Wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. So we'll put that in B tier. Next one, we'll talk about our first movie. This is Whispers of Silent Body. This I'll give a 7 out of 10. Again, it's okay. It's an okay movie. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. The best part of this movie was the acting. The main actor playing Qingming was great. He was amazing. He was really good. I want to watch him in other things. They had some really good actors in this. The thing that kind of fell apart with the movie, though, was the writing. The plot did not make sense whatsoever. It didn't have the classic bromance. It didn't have the trio. It just had Qingming. And it tried to introduce romance, that it just did not work either. It could have been worse, but it could have been a lot better. So I'm going to put the movie on... I'll put it on C tier. I would say if you want to check at least one movie out, I would check that one out, but you could also skip it at the same time. Maybe I should put Whispers of Silent Body on B. I think I'll do that. I'm going to switch this. I'm going to put B. It was okay. We'll put it at B tier. It was okay. You can skip it if you want, but you might want to check it out too, just if you're curious. Okay, so next one we'll talk about was Medical Examiner Dr. Chin, The Survivor. This is season 3, technically, of this drama franchise. In my opinion, I rated this a 5 out of 10. You can skip this drama series. The only reason why I rated this a 5 out of 10 was because the cases were at least somewhat interesting. They did have the famous trio. It had the great trio, but they were fighting the entire drama. There was no, in my opinion, there was no growing into a friendship, no growing into a partnership, no bromance. They were fighting the entire time, which I did not like because I was looking for the, yes, they can be fighting at the beginning of the drama, but they eventually like each other. I never got the impression that they liked each other by the end of the drama. They also, again, tried to introduce romance, and it just did not work. It did not work whatsoever. The actors were stiff. There was no real chemistry between them either, even if they were trying to do a bromance or a romance. It was bad, in my opinion. So I'm going to put that at C. If you want to try it, it's on YouTube. I would not recommend it, but I'm going to put this at C. And then these last 3, I'm just going to say don't even try. These are 3 movies that were made. To me, they're like made for TV movies. I rated them between a 3 and a 4. And I probably should even have rated them like lower than that. But I would not recommend watching any of these movies. These movies are Medical Examiner Dr. Chin, Death Redemption, Medical Examiner Dr. Chin, Fatal Novel, and Medical Examiner Dr. Chin, The Blood Red Wedding. I rated Death Redemption a 4 out of 10, and the other 2 I did a 3 out of 10. They all have the same reasoning, though. Death Redemption at least got a 4 out of 10 because it was a little better than the other 2 movies. It had an interesting twist with the story. That was why it was a little better. And it gave a little bit more background into the characters and stories. But if you have not watched any of the dramas before watching these movies, you would have no idea what is going on because they gave no background. They kind of just dove you right into the story. They didn't introduce Qingming and like his background and what he was, other than he was a forensics examiner. If you were going into these movies blind, you would not know what was going on. Lead actor was okay for these movies. It was the same actor for all 3 movies. He was okay. Not great, but okay. In my opinion, you can skip all 3 of them. For the other 2, Fatal Novel and Blood Red Wedding, I rated these a 3 out of 10. I would say don't watch at all. They are a made-for-TV feel in a bad way. It is not in a good way. And the only reason I rated them a 3 is because the case is mildly interesting. There's no chemistry with the leads. The trio isn't there. The only person who's consistent in this is Qingming. There was no team whatsoever. It's just bad. These movies were bad. They're maybe an hour and 15, so I don't even know if you would call them movies, but on MDL, they're categorized as movies, so that's what I did. I would say you should not even watch the 3 in the don't even try. My recommendation, what you should check out, is definitely check out season 1, Medical Examiner Dr. Chen, and I would at least check out this one. This is a newer one. I think it's 2022. It's solid. I was actually surprised on how much I actually enjoyed that, even if it was a prequel and the trio was kind of not your classic setup. And then maybe I would check out these, but definitely I would recommend A and B, these two, or S and A, I should say. If you had to choose one, watch the classic season 1, and then go from there. Do not watch these movies. If you want to make fun of something on TV, maybe watch this. But definitely watch Medical Examiner Dr. Chin season 1 and Medical Examiner Dr. Chin, the Mind Reader. I would highly recommend those. So that is my review ranking of Medical Examiner Dr. Chin. Please let me know what you think of this video, and let me know if you've watched Medical Examiner Dr. Chin. What did you think about it? What were your favorites? Have you only seen season 1? Have you watched a separate one? I will say, I don't think you have to watch them in order. This is not like Lost Tomb or anything where you have to kind of watch those in order. These are one-offs. You do not have to watch them in order, just FYI. That is my rankings of Medical Examiner Dr. Chin. Let me know what you think in the comments, and thank you.